Hey, I'm Joanna, and for my Intro to Civic Media project, I'm looking at how different campaigns for the 2012 elections reach their voters.
Hi, my name is Rogelio, and I'm a graduate student in Comparative Media Studies. For my final project for Introduction to Civic Media, I'm doing a front page analysis of 3 major newspapers, the LA Times, the New York Times, and La Opinión, a Spanish language newspaper, in order to track coverage of immigration-related events over the course of 2 years. Right now I'm starting from 2010 to 2012. And that's my project. What I found so far, preliminary findings, is that ethnic media, for the most part, Spanish language media tends to report more on immigration.
I'm Anne. I'm a second-year graduate student in Art, Culture, and Technology at MIT, and I'm doing my final project for Civic Media about origin stories printed on product packages, like stories that account for the history of the product or of the company, and collecting them in a crowdsourced repository online, and also creating opportunities to interrogate those stories, existing stories, edit them, create entirely new ones, parody them, and any number of other things could happen in this website. And I'm also writing about the practice of collecting and precedents for this kind of storytelling.
Project is about media convergence and focus on television culture and new media culture, especially networks in China. And map projects are divided into many parts, including convergence culture, the products convergence, the content convergence, and management convergence. So I'm focusing on the Chinese media industry, and that's all.
Hi, I'm Aditi. For my final project in Civic Media, I'm doing a case study on the Question campaign in Cambridge. The name of the campaign is 21 Days of Questions, 365 Days of Action. It's a campaign around domestic violence. The city of Cambridge partnered with other community groups working to fight domestic violence to collect questions from the greater Cambridge community about domestic violence. And over 1,000 questions were collected, and now for 365 days they're going to work together to figure out what will happen next.
So I'm studying contested spaces of violence in relation to drug-related frameworks in Mexico City, and trying to see the impact these new legal frameworks are having in communities and the ability for citizens to claim their rights. And I'm trying to look at specific ways in which civic media can articulate the voices of those citizens being affected and help enhance their power to fight back and protect their communities.
My final project is about how out-of-school arts programs teach kids digital media production, specifically how they design and develop curriculum, and if they use if online resources are helpful for them to develop curriculum. I'm also interested in whether students use online resources during their class time, and if this helps their understanding of how media works.
My final project is going to be about civic maps, more specifically about crisis mapping used during disasters. Crisis mapping is a relatively new thing. One has been used actually during the Haitian earthquake, and it actually helped a lot of people because it helped others find places of aid, find where places are dangerous, and provide a lot of useful information. So my final project is going to be about evaluating the technologies used in crisis mapping, such as SMS and OpenGIS mapping, and finding ways to improve crisis mapping as well as evaluating just the overall field of it.
My name is Luis, and I'm working on my final project for the Intro to Civic Media class is on a Civic Maps toolkit. The idea of the toolkit is to gather interviews, tools, suggestions, and manuals on how can grassroots community organizations use maps to be successful in their social goals.
My final for the Civic Media class is a project to map the influence of people on the internet based on their activism and social participation. So I will develop a tool to try to measure this influence and rank people according to it.
Hi, this is Catherine Dignazio, and my final project for Intro to Civic Media is a website that documents an action on the US-Mexico border where we used our bodies and paint and performance to symbolically erase the border. And the website is documenting that action and asking people to sign a voice petition to add their voice to a movement to actually really erase the border fence along the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation on the US-Mexico border.
Hi, my name is Molly Sauter, and my final project for Intro to Civic Media this year is an ethical framework for the analysis of activist distributed denial of service attacks using historical examples and more modern examples, as well as using a contrast with previous modes of disruptive activism that are used in the physical world.